Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here, my beautiful YouTube family. Was lost in thought, lost in my head. Just clearing our space. Just recorded a little over a 30-minute message for members only for the Patreon community, and I still have all my decks out. I was actually just thinking about how I noticed the end of my necklace here. I guess I've heard that called the nipple of your necklace. Have you all ever heard that, with the clasp or whatever? But anyways, I noticed that was showing, and I thought, oh shoot, was that showing the whole time I was recording my other message? Yeah, I was just really in it, didn't even notice. Truly, in order to allow these messages to come through, I have to get myself, my mind out of the way and just allow these messages to flow through me. So some beautiful messages coming through in Patreon anyway. So if you're just tuning in, you could say hello. You could let us know where you're tuning in from. Share with us how you've been feeling in these energies. I just saw 111 here. Be the light. We're going to get a little message here on being the light, shining the light, sharing your light, doing the things you are called to do that amplify your light, implementing the boundaries in order to protect your light, to magnify your light, knowing your inner world is creating the outer world, so your outer reality. And all of our outer worlds intermingle to create the collective consciousness. And so that is how we can understand that us doing the inner work, making the shifts, doing this inside out work, living from the inside out, this is how we can benefit the whole, the planet, the collective. This is how we can heal past generations and contribute to future generations. Remembering, unity consciousness. It's not just about us. There are people that will have to inhabit this earth. Yeah. Once we are gone here, Knight of Pentacles, long-term success, focusing on what truly matters, being responsible. Again, in it for the long game, right? Being willing to be, I just saw 222 here with balance, being willing to be uncomfortable now for long-term satisfaction, right? I was going to say satisfaction. That was a hard word. Yeah, we have a choice in every moment, right? To cling to, reach for this instant gratification, the things that will maybe numb us, allow us to distract us, avoid our experience, avoid the uncomfortable that we are experiencing now, but will lead to long-term pain, right? Or we can be willing to sit through uncomfortable moments, be willing to be uncomfortable temporarily for a lifetime of freedom. That's what recovery is all about. Empowerment, taking back the reins, taking back the control of our life from victim to victor. That is what creates this long-term stability and success. Understanding that it's so much more than this physical experience, and it's so much more than this moment. And all moments are sacred. There's either something to learn, some wisdom here for you. Maybe you're being asked to expand. Maybe you're being asked to step into your power. Maybe you're being asked to implement boundaries. Maybe you're being asked to make space for clarity to arise. This transition here, this is after 5 of Swords, which is like headache, confusion, chaos. So look for an aha moment, either clarity to arise from within, or this can also signify help arriving, the solution you've been seeking, been waiting on. In the traditional tarot, 6 of Swords is like waiting on ships to come in, or I think it's actually they're in a boat crossing a threshold. So yes, initiation, crossing a threshold here, and judgment, this understanding of what truly matters, and our willingness to sit through a temporary painful moment to obtain and abstract the wisdom from it. The Magician here, alchemy, being willing to continue to learn, understanding we're a forever learner, forever student, right? And being ambitious about digging deep. It's like the more you know, the more you can recognize how much there is to know, how much you don't know. 444 I just saw. Knowing that we are guided and supported by helpers in the unseen realms. I'm going to tap into our angels and ancestors deck here with that. What more can we know on this Six of Swords energy, this clarity, this awakening, this understanding? Trust and thrive. Yes, absolutely. Trusting ourselves. All of these situations, these moments, even this temporary pain, right, is to, again, this moment, life is constantly serving us with opportunities to learn, to grow, to expand, to evolve. Life knows exactly what to serve us to provide the most expansion, the most learning, even if it's uncomfortable in this moment. Trust that it's for your benefit. Trusting ourselves and trusting life, no matter what comes, that is true liberation here. The ability to see things from a higher perspective. This one came through in Patreon as well. Seeing things from the lens of our higher self. Even though our human may be experiencing an uncomfortable moment, we understand it's for our benefit, for our gain. And I just saw 555 here. And so that's how we're able to trust. Because we're open to healing information. We've done the inner work. We understand we are forever evolving, learning, right? So we are ambitious, eager to learn. We don't think of it as the song I'm thinking of. We can either do it as if it's a heavy weight we're holding, meaning life. We can either go through life, you know, focusing on the heaviness and the grief, or we can, it's basically like, you can go through life like it's a heavy burden on your shoulders, or you can do it like it's a dance. Now I gotta, what is that song? I think it might be Great Storm Clouds by Trevor Hall. Don't quote me on that, but go listen to that song. That will be relevant. I'm pretty sure that is that song. It's part of nature. Great storm clouds, holy rain. It's part of nature to hold a bit of pain, and we are extensions of nature here. Relief and grief. I was talking about Scorpio season and what I've been experiencing simultaneously. Relief and grief. Relief for where I am, what I have accomplished, my new understanding, my higher perspective, how I'm able to see all things that played out. Grateful for that, relief for that, but also grief. You know, we have to grieve scenario situations we hoped would come to be. We have to grieve situations where, you know, when we were living unconsciously, we were making choices that allowed us to miss out on certain circumstances. In every moment, duality, right? I just saw 747 here. In every moment, there's something to focus on that could, you know, make us worrisome or fearful. And likewise, there's something to be grateful for. There's a golden nugget everywhere. I assure you of that. It reminds me, I was sharing a bit of my channeled messages, what I receive through reflection, journaling, meditation, all of that before I tapped into the cards. And I thought I lost it. My ability to savor the good, to find the good in any moment, I said, is out of this world, and it is an ability that has saved me time and time again. And that is something that came from my darkest moments. Yes, things I had to heal from, right? Like there was a lot of dissociating and fawning, freezing, you know, trauma stuck in my body, but as I release that, we can see the benefit. And again, I'm sure, you know, if you're in recovery like me, I'm sure your unconscious days, you feel like you were robbed of certain aspects in your life, but know that the best is yet to come. We're truly just getting started. All of that was training grounds, preparation. You wouldn't have went through all of that for nothing. Trust that. And I just saw 9/11 here. Anything else we can know on trust and thrive? Love and let yourself be loved. Living from the heart. Releasing the mind. When we return to the body, you know, we can't be in our mind and our body at the same time. So if you're feeling caught up, overwhelmed in your head, return to your body. Nature, grounding, stillness. Find something to taste, touch, smell, see, hear. Or you could do a body scan from the top down or the bottom up. And if you're feeling this empty well here, time to replenish. The world came through for us in Patreon as well. End of one cycle, beginning of another. And we are going through some things, processing some things, astrologically, cosmically, physiologically, just things our planet is doing, everything that's happening in the planet. I just saw 1010 here, which is also end of cycles here. Everything that we see playing out on the planet, we can know and trust that there are aspects of that playing out within us as well. And so you maybe are finding yourself just feeling depleted, tired, even though you slept all night, or you're doing all the things you normally do to care for yourself, and you're just not able to push ahead like you normally do. Understand that things are taking place, happening on a cellular level and a DNA level within that it won't make sense with our logical mind, but get into your heart here. This is a job for the heart. This is a time to let our higher self lead and to ask our ego. We're not going to eliminate the ego or our humanness, and we're not meant to, but ask our ego. And again, we got the empty well, time to replenish. Ask our ego to, get in the passenger seat where it belongs. The mind, this came through in Patreon as well, is a wonderful tool, but it is a lousy master. You are in charge of you, and your feelings are your guidance. Paying attention to what you're feeling, using that to guide you. That's how we access our intuition. If we cut ourselves off from our emotions, we also cut ourselves off from our intuition, which is the only guidance we have in order to know how and what to do next from moment to moment. You have an inner guide within you always, but free will, right? We can choose to cut off that access by not believing it's available, by staying busy and ignoring the nudges. Yeah, by denying this eternal connection. No, it doesn't go away because it's eternal and infinite, but we can, again, block ourselves off from access to it. The way we access our intuition, again, is allowing ourselves to feel all of the things by being playful, allowing ourselves, even on this self-healing journey, allow yourself time to just decompress, unwind, right? Where did we have that empty well? Well, we got that twice. And so you're being asked to rest, to be playful, to bring more joyful experiences to your life. Maybe get out in nature, maybe go play with your kitty. I know I can always count on my kitties to make me giggle, to provide some relief. Let's get one affirmation for us here to leave us with. And then if you would like to see more of me, something resonated for you here, and you would like to hear further messages, longer messages, deeper messages, know you can join the Patreon community. Link for that will be in the pinned comments below, as well as the description box. You get access to my most recent message, plus all of the content. I'm also available for personal readings, personal guidance, one-on-one sessions. If you would like access to the Inside Out Living Guide that I created, just reach out, drop a comment, and I will be in touch. Yes, I let go of fears that are stored in my soul. I don't get this very often. It's actually the card that's on the front of the deck here. And there's, how many cards are in here? 50. And yet we get a lot of the same messages, but yes, this doesn't come through very often, but the fears that are stored in our soul, and we do so by allowing ourselves to feel what we feel, right? By not denying when we feel fearful, understanding that fear that's cropping up is just giving us an opportunity, again, a choice point. We can forget everything and run, forget everything we know to be true, right? And let the doubt creep in and run, reach for that instant fix, that instant relief, which again, we know leads to long-term pain, or we can face that fear, face everything and rise, understand this is just the next thing we need to step through, and, be willing to feel that fear, be willing to feel that uncomfortableness now, knowing that it will lead to long-term satisfaction, gain here, this Knight of Pentacles energy, this short-term discomfort for long-term gain, freedom. So yes, true liberation is the ability to feel all of the things and still choose intentionally to not allow your emotions to dictate you, but to fuel you, to educate you, to inform you, and then allow yourself the space, right? Don't allow urgency or anyone, including yourself, to force yourself to make a decision before it's time. So I'm sending so much love. Until next time, see you all soon. If you want to be notified when I go live again, be sure and hit the little bell or subscribe to the channel. Then you'll be one of the first to be notified. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your healing. No, it does matter. It makes a difference. Everything you heal and shift, the next person that comes on after you will not have to feel. So it is noted, needed, and the divine, the universe keeps tabs, the divine accounting. There is nothing that is done that is not seen, felt, noted. Okay, I'm rambling. Until next time.